Quick disclaimer, this content features clips from others, but it is repurposed with my own original voiceover, commentary, and transformative edits. I am adding my own unique spin and analysis. Credit to the original creators.
Seniors who are in cognitive decline should not be forced/able to work.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I'm sorry, but the government should just pay for your life at that point, because if you are in cognitive decline and cannot function in the workplace, you should not be there. I say this because there's been this trend going on that's like, oh, like age gap coworker best friend. And I was like, yeah, cute. And then I saw this one that was like a 20-year-old girl and a 70-year-old woman. I'm sure that 70-year-old woman is perfectly fine, but it reminded me of my coworker at my old place of work who was actively in cognitive decline that was rapidly getting worse.
Oh, wow.
And nobody talked to her about anything because they were all like, oh, Mary has dementia, so we shouldn't be mean to Mary. Resulting in me almost getting written up numerous times because she would misremember things or just flat out lie. And I don't know if she was flat out lying because she didn't like me or because she genuinely misremembered things. But there was one point where Mary went to my manager and got me in trouble because she was a no-call, no-show. And she was like, no, I didn't call her show up because I texted Van and told him that I needed this day covered, and he gladly agreed to it. And I reaffirmed with him that day that he could cover my shift, and he didn't come in. That's not my fault. That's his fault.
Grandma messy.
So when my manager was talking to me about it, I was like, hey, whoa, no. And I showed him my text with Mary to show that she hadn't texted me in like weeks. And I was like scrolling up and I was showing him, I showed him my call logs to make absolutely sure that he understood that I had no knowledge of this. And I told him, I was like, if she had told me she needed it covered, I would have done it in a heartbeat. Like I absolutely would have. But that didn't happen. And instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'll talk to Mary, this is like unacceptable, no one talked to Mary. No one talks to Mary. Instead, Van was told, sign this so that I can say that I talked to you about it and I'll handle it. Mary was never spoken to and came in looking at me all smug one day. Come to find out, it was never an issue for her. Never ever. Like, she never got any repercussions for that. Another time, Mary told my boss, she was like, hey, like texted him day of, I was at work today and Van did absolutely nothing. I worked all day while Van sat on his phone. My boss comes to me about it. Mary was not there that day. Mary wasn't even on the schedule. It was me and my other coworker, and we worked our butts off, by the way. And the next day, everything was done perfectly. So I don't know how she could have said that or how he could have believed it because everything was fully stocked. Okay, but I tell him and I'm like, hey, check the schedule. Mary wasn't here today. Like, Mary did not come in that day. How would she, even if I did sit on my, she wouldn't know. Like, she wasn't there. And he was like, oh, okay, just sign this to show that I've talked about it with you. Okay. So then, at this point, I'm with everybody else. I'm like, Mary has dementia. It's not her fault. I'm not going to like throw a fit over it. Like, as long as I can prove that I'm not doing these things wrong, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it because obviously she needs the money if she's still working. Come Pride Month, me and my coworker are both like in the community, right? So we put up this little itty bitty pride flag. Super cute. We just put it like on the cash register. Next day we come in, pride flag gone, pride flag missing. So I was like, I didn't take it home. My coworker didn't take it home. Where is pride flag? I find it wedged in between some binders. So I was like, okay, Mary did this because she had worked the day before and our managers wouldn't do that. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to make a big thing of it. I'm just going to put it back. So I put it back. Find out a few managers later, finally I get someone who tells me things, that Mary had complained to corporate about the pride flag, which, by the way, we checked with corporate. They said it was fine. And she had said, I don't want this stuff up in front of me while I'm at the cash register because I don't want customers to ask me if I'm a lesbian. First of all, Mary, no one's going to ask you if you're a lesbian. No one cares if you're a lesbian. And also, why would it matter if they asked? You could just say no. So then she starts being like microaggressive towards me and my coworker while we're putting this pride flag back. And it becomes like a weird little game of like hide the pride flag and put it back. And at this point I was like, okay, I need to make a complaint. Like, this is not okay. So I compiled all of my like forms of sign this so that they know I talked to you about it. I compiled all my proof and I wrote a like little email about the pride flag incident. I submit it. Finally, corporate sends SH training. So we all have to do it. In SH training, there is a huge chapter about not being homophobic and respecting your queer coworkers. Mary did not like this. Next day, I'm working and I'm supposed to have Mary cover the second half of the day. So Mary comes in and she doesn't know who she's working with. So then when she comes in, I come out from the back and I'm like, "Hi, Mary, how's it going?" She's got an attitude with me. So she sets her stuff down and starts working. I try to make small talk. I'm like, "Wow, it's really cold outside today. For like summer, that's crazy." And she slams her hands down on the table and she's like, "I'm done." And I was like, "You just started." She was like, "Nope." And I was like, "Are you quitting?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Are you going to put in your 2 weeks?" And she was like, "Nope." So I was like, "So are you leaving right now?" And she was like, "Yup." I was like, "Do you want a hug?" She's like, "Nope." Gets her tote bag and leaves. So Van has no coverage and Van has to work till close. Respectfully, never again. And I'm not even generalizing. Like, I'm sure that there are plenty of 70-year-old women who are great at their jobs, obviously, right? Like, being 70 doesn't automatically make you bad at your job or homophobic. But that memory lit something in me, something of a rage, okay? And I hope Mary never got a job again and that she is still fine, obviously, and being supported by the government, but never again.
I'm irked. I'm so irritated. I left work shaking today.
Okay, friend, let's hear it.
So I am a store lead at a retail food establishment here in LA. I am also 29, so I've been in this game for a little bit. I say that because I am going to work the hours that I'm scheduled and nothing more unless a previous agreement has been made. I'm here to get a paycheck. I'm here to clock in and clock out. I'm not here to go above and beyond. I'm sorry. So my coworker is supposed to be coming in at 1:45 p.m. I'm off at 2 p.m. and we have a little bit of overlap just in case anything happens. And good thing we had that overlap because obviously something happened. This coworker was late. I had a different coworker late the other day and I was supposed to be gone at 1:45 and she didn't show up until 2 p.m. So we're clearly having some issues here with people getting here on time. So my coworker isn't answering her phone. Her texts are going green, and we have iPhones. So her texts are going green. Her phone is going straight to voicemail. And I text my manager saying, "Hey, coworker isn't here yet. I have to leave at 2. I can't stay to close. Sorry." Finally, coworker gets a hold of me. It's 2:00. I'm already finished. I closed out the drawer. I locked the door. Coworker says, "I'm on my way." Awesome. She lets me know, "Sorry, you have to stay though, until I get there." And I was like, "What?" And then my manager calls me. My manager then says, "Yeah, you're just gonna have to stay until she gets here." And I'm like, "I got an appointment." And then she starts getting upset with me saying, "Oh, well, you can't just stay an extra 10 minutes. I inform her that it's going to be an extra 20 minutes, and that's not the issue. My schedule says I'm done at 2:00. I should be done at 2:00. I'm not going to stay an extra 20 minutes. You have no idea how far I live. You have no idea, where this appointment is, what this appointment is, and you have no, my schedule says I'm done at 2. Then I'm going to be done at 2. Then she pulls this, "Okay, well, I'll tell the operations manager and we'll have to have a conversation about this later." I said, "Oh, we're going to have to talk about this later?" And she says, "Oh, yeah, we are." I said, bet. I am 29 years old. I do not have time for this. She's also doing some other shady shit that I don't even have time to tell you about in this one, but I don't like it and it makes me want to quit. Please tell me that I am not in the wrong because I think that is absolutely ridiculous. I had to be somewhere. You're going to ask me to be the extra 20 minutes. She was supposed to be here at 1:45. I'm already doing more than what I need to do. Miss me with that.
So I was telling this story on live last night, but I'm going to tell it again because people are really nuts. They are really sick in the head. So I got this coworker or whatever, and his ass always be complaining about something. Like, never happy, never satisfied, so miserable. And it's just like, realistically, nobody wants to work. Like, nobody wants to be here, but we make the best of it or whatever. So it's kind of like, every time when he grumbling and being miserable and complaining about stuff, like, I just find myself, like, dodging him, because that shit is heavy. That shit is a lot to weigh on you, and especially when somebody doesn't want to do something about the problem. So it's like, he have a supervisor that he keep getting into it with. I've gotten into it with that same supervisor. I escalated the situation because I understood what was happening, and I understand that if I don't say anything, it looks like I'm the problem, and this person just keeps having a problem with me. And also, like, you cannot bully me, like, you cannot pick on me. So I've been telling him what to do, telling him the steps that he needs to take. He doesn't want to take any of the steps. He just wants to complain. He complains about everything. And at this point, it's like, you just want to complain. You're not even venting. Like, you just want to complain, and it's fucking annoying. So I find myself dodging him. So one day after work, we on the bus or whatever. I'm sitting in my seat right here. We're separated by an aisle. He's sitting on the other seat in the back that's right by the back door or whatever. So he was like, yo, you went to the meeting? Like, yo, these niggas playing with me. I'm like, what happened? I noticed from the other day, this hospital been using cheap bacon. They make more than enough money. Like, I do not like this bacon. If the meeting is not mandatory, I'm not going. I'll just wait for somebody to relay the message. So basically, in my department, you put in your vacations at the top of the year. So this January 1st, you put in all the vacations that you want for the year, just to make sure that you can get the days off that you really, really want, because it goes by seniority. The person who's doing the vacations is new to doing the vacations, and he basically messed up, and he was getting too many people off on too many days, and we've just been short, and it's just been crazy. Mind you, there's like 15 people out on workers' comp or whatever. So now they switched it up so it'll be easier for him to be able to put people off at the right amount of time, and not too many people are off. So we do it 6 months at a time, 12 months in a year. So we do from January to May, and then from June to the rest of the year. So now it's after work, and we on the bus, and he on the bus hooting and hollering about something they don't need a hoot or a holler. I'm talking about some watch me and them, me, I got called the union by them. And I'm like, what happened? He like, oh, I need to go back home. How they gonna tell me I can't go back home? How they gonna tell me that I can't put in a vacation? I'm like, well, they're the boss, so. My thing is like, what you gonna call the union and say? He didn't say you couldn't go on vacation at all. He just said that they're changing the way they do vacation. You're not the only one here from a foreign country. They know that some countries it take days to get there. Yours only takes 3 hours to get there. Jamaica is not that far. So I start to realize why he possibly could be upset, and it's obviously over buying the tickets, because the closer you get to the vacation, obviously it's the more expensive this flight is going to be. So then I start to reassure him and tell him that if he tells the supervisor that you are going out, that him and the other people that are traveling abroad to go home would have some type of leniency. Mind you, I know this to be fact, that you really could tell them that you have a flight to catch and you're going home, because he's not the only person that goes through this like every year, and they always make sure that they are approved for their vacation. So naturally, now I'm irritated. Now I don't want to hear it no more, because you do not want a solution. You just want to complain, and I'm not your fucking therapist. You're fucking annoyance after work. Shut the fuck up. So I'm like, Lord God. So I end up asking him, like, what do you want me to say? I'm giving you solutions, and you're shutting them all down, making another problem. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. I cannot help you. So then I put my headphones in and proceed to keep reading my book. So I start coming, we both get off the bus and we go our separate ways. Next day I'm leaving work, I'm at the clock out machine, about to clock out. I say what up to him, I ain't hear nothing back, but I wasn't really pressed, because I'd be walking really fast, because I'd be trying to catch my bus. The following day I do the same thing. I ain't hear shit, but I feel like he saw me coming, but I ain't pressed. I believe your coworkers is not your friend, so it's never that serious to me. He's not somebody that I speak to out of work, so it is what it is. I be good off people, especially when I know I didn't do anything to you, especially when you're a man trying to be chased. Like, no. Me and him never had no problem, so I wanted this to be crystal clear before I activated bitch knee. So he comes on the bus, and I'm already on the bus. So in the back of the bus, there's 2 seats that leads up the stairs. So it's one on the left side and one on the right side next to the back door. Now the bus is basically empty, so him coming on the bus makes the 4th person that's on the bus, including me. I'm the only one sitting in the back of the bus. He comes to the back of the bus to sit in the seat that he sits in every day right next to me. I said hello to him. This man sucked his teeth and walked back down the stairs. Okay. Thank you for confirming that. The weekend goes past. I come into work. I hear somebody say, yo, Bert, what up? I know that's not the same bitch that ignored me for 2 days straight. Ignoring people is my superpower, so I ignored him. I get on the elevator. I get off on the wrong floor, so when I get off the elevator, guess who's standing right there? So he decides to say what's up, and I never do a better thing than to decide to shake things up. I decide to shake up his day first thing in the morning at 7 o'clock. I told that bitch, no, don't talk to me. Keep ignoring me like you was ignoring me for the last couple of days. Like, you don't have to talk to me. Like, I'm good. Trust me. He's like, oh, no, I'm never ignore. Yes, the fuck you did. You looked me dead in my face twice. Then when you came on the bus, you literally sucked your teeth and walked out. People have this sick obsession with trying to humble me. People have this sick obsession with thinking that they are my match, and they always feel horribly. You cannot out-villain a villain. You are trying to be a villain. I am a villain at my core. Like, I don't give a fuck. I never give a fuck. What I've come to find is that people will watch interactions that I have with other people and be set for that. What I've come to find is that people will try to premeditate my attitude and go full throttle with it in hopes and trying to beat me at a game that I didn't even know I was playing. But the problem with that is that I'm not even on that type of time, that I don't even know what I'm going to do next. I'm not that same bitch that I was 5 minutes ago. I'm like a box of chocolate. You'll never know what you'll get out of me. I'm just being me. I'm just breathing. Moral of the story is you can decide not to talk to me. That's fine. I'm not going to chase you, especially when you're not adult enough to tell me what I've done to you that was wrong, so we can have a conversation and hash it out. But don't you ever, in your rabbit ass, one brain cell, lead poisoned ass mind, think that you can walk past me, ignore me, look me dead in my face, and our eyes make four, and think that I'm going to talk to you again. Bitch.
I got pregnant twice in high school, so let's do a little bit of a story time. When I was 16 years old, a series of bad decisions led me to being preggos. Peed on the stick, 2 little pink lines came up, and I did not know how to tell my boyfriend. Thankfully, my boyfriend at the time, now husband, was super supportive and was like, okay, we'll do this, we got this. Like, he's an amazing guy. At 17 years old, I gave birth to our oldest daughter. She was 7 pounds, 11 ounces, and absolutely perfect in every single way. We are literally such a stereotype because after she was born, he joined the military. He's in the Air Force. And so when she was about 6 months old, he went to boot camp and graduated when she was 9 months old. I flew down to Texas and we got married. I had already turned 18 when we got married, just FYI. After we got married, he went to tech school and I packed up all our stuff because we were then moved to South Carolina. During all this, I was homeschooled. I've been homeschooled since middle school, and it really came in clutch during this whole situation because I was able to work on school like as I could, because obviously I was working until like we got married, and then after he had like a source of income and stuff, I became like a stay-at-home mom, and I just focused on my schoolwork and raising our child, obviously. After he finished his tech school, he's in finance, looking for a man in finance. Anyways, we moved to where we live now, and I was still working on high school. I hadn't technically graduated yet, although I literally had 1 credit. All I had to do was finish my math credit, and I was done. But anyways, we moved down here, and on my daughter's first birthday, I found out I was pregnant with our second baby. Soon after I found out I was pregnant with our second child, we were able to move to a house on base, the base that my husband is stationed on, and that made life so much freaking easier. Because our daughter now had like a backyard to play in, and we weren't stuck in like this tiny little apartment, which was great. So I was able to finish my math credit, and then we went back home to Virginia to visit family, and I was able to graduate high school. So I graduated high school pregnant with a baby. So originally I was set to graduate high school early. Obviously that didn't happen because I had a baby, but it put me in like a really good place to graduate with honors on time with the rest of my class. So I didn't graduate late, I didn't graduate behind. Since I did all like the extra credit work beforehand, I was still able to graduate with honors. Currently, I am 21 years old. I have been a stay-at-home mom since I was 17, and my oldest is autistic, and I would not change a freaking thing. But with all this being said, I in no way condone or support or encourage teen pregnancy. I encourage and support teen parents who are already pregnant and dealing with what I went through. Obviously, what's done is done, but don't be like stupid and doing stupid stuff that could get you pregnant as a teenager. Like, come on, son. Long story short, I absolutely love being a mom. When you make plans, God laughs in your face. I would not change a thing, even though it wasn't exactly the best of circumstances. It happened, whatever, move on. And I want 3 more kids. I love this lip balm. This is the Fenty Gloss Bomb. Also, if you have any questions about any of the products I used today, please drop them in the comments. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time. I'm Maya Jean, the Beauty Queen.
Storytime on how I was a side bitch for almost 2 years and did not know. So I met this boy on Instagram. We went on a date. After the date, we raw. Ever since then, like, we would all the time. Like, that was my man. Now, it would be weird because every time he would spend a night, he would leave at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. But he used to, always tell me that he just got to make his money. Like, he's not lazy. And me being the trusting, loving female I am, I'm like, okay, yeah, get your money. I started to get a little, like, speculation when I would start calling him at night. He wouldn't answer, or every time I would call him, he'll be in the car every single time. He was never in the house. And I'm like, where do you live? Like, I want to talk to you when you're comfortable. Another red flag, I did not know where he lived. Like, he never told me where he lived. He never took me to where he lived. I knew nothing about where he lived. And I knew it was fishy. So we started arguing a lot because of that. Because I was just like, something's not right. Like, why do I not know where you live? He assured me that I haven't been to his house because he lives with, like, his peoples or whatever. So I was like, okay, I get it. I live by myself. It's easier. That's fine. Mind you, this man was doing everything right. Like, he took me to Miami for my birthday. He always bought me roses. He always did little things for me, edible arrangements. Like, it was so much cute stuff. And I was just like, damn, I'm really fucking with him. Like, I really fuck with him. I really was like, that was my man. You get what I'm saying? This man was not my man. I did some digging and I found out that he had a baby mama. I found out that he lives with his baby mama. I found out that, I just found out a whole bunch of shit. So me being me, I confronted him about it. Of course, he lied about it. So when I want to get to the bottom of something, I'm going to get to the bottom of something, period. I ended up, messaging the baby mama. And I was just like, hey, like, I know that you used to fuck with such and such and such. Are you still dealing with him? Because, like, I'm dealing with him. So I just want to know, if you are, I will exit out the equation. Why this girl called me and was trying to, at the mouth? Yeah, that's my man. That's my baby daddy. I sit on his face every night. Blah, 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 blah. But you can have him. No, you can have him. You can have him. Okay? She was one of those females that wanted to, with the female, but not come together and, find out why is this nigga lying to the both of us. Me being how I am, I'm not a confrontational person, but I will be if that's what you give me. So it was a whole lot.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and share this juicy story time.